Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan issues royal directives to implement a number of development projects in the Sultanate worth 300 million Omani riyals. The Supreme Committee dealing with the COVID-19 developments decides to lock down some areas and reopen a new package of commercial and industrial activities. The Ministry of Health announces 712 new confirmed COVID-19 cases and 59 recoveries. And the World Bank expects a growth of 2% in the Sultanate's gross domestic product next year. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa of the Republic of Portugal on the occasion of the Republic's National Day. The private office of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued a statement as follows. Stemming from the royal attention of His Majesty's keenness to enhance economic growth and development in the Sultanate, His Majesty the Sultan issued royal directives to implement a number of development projects in the Sultanate worth 300 million Omani riyals. As per the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, the State Council adjourned the first annual session of the 7th term effective from Thursday, the 16th of July. The State Council stressed during its meeting today on the necessity of continuing to show conscious response by all members of the community towards the preventive measures that aim at curbing the spread of the novel corona and commented on the efforts made in this regard. During the meeting, the Council discussed a proposal on amending the law on environment protection and combating pollution and another proposal on studying the Omani economic stability in the amid of the oil price recession and COVID-19 pandemic. The Council decided to refer the proposals to the next general session, which will take place on the 29th and 30th of June. The meeting was headed by His Excellency Yahya bin Mahfouz al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council. The Supreme Committee dealing with COVID-19 developments held a meeting today under the chairmanship of His Excellency Sayyid Ahmoud bin Faisal al-Busaidi with the attendance of all the members of the committee. The meeting held at the General Diwan of the Ministry of Interior highlighted the updates of the pandemic and the preventive measures, means of limiting its spread and dealing with its various impacts. As the summer tourism season in the Sultanate is about to begin and within the preventive measures approved by the committee, it was decided to lock down Al-Jabal Al-Akhdar, Jabal Shams, Wilaya of Msaira and the Governorate of Dhofar, as well as to prevent any gatherings or touristic activities in these areas starting from 12 p.m. Saturday, the 13th of June 2020 until Friday, 3rd of July 2020. The situation will be evaluated according to the epidemiological developments of each area. The committee, based on the coordination with the bodies concerned in the public and the private sectors, also decided to reopen a new package of commercial and industrial activities starting from Wednesday, 10th of June 2020, as the bodies concerned will announce the details of these activities and hygienic standards needed to practice them. The committee affirms on the necessity to full adherence to the preventive measures determined by the bodies concerned to avoid being infected by this disease and to limit its spread. The Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources stated that 48 commercial and economic activities will be open starting from tomorrow, including sale of ready-made garments and kid clothes, jewelry, gold and silver shops, telecommunication showrooms, bidding service offices, shoe shops, translation offices, photo shops, utensil shops, and used car showrooms. The Ministry of Health announced 712 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 18,198, including 83 deaths. The Ministry of Health stresses that 4,152 cases have been recovered.
Within the efforts to limit the spread of COVID-19, the ministry advises all citizens and residents to keep on washing hands with water and soap. Avoid touching the face, nose, mouth and eyes. Follow hygienic habits when coughing and sneezing. Adhere strictly to social distancing instructions. Stay at home and not to go out unless absolutely necessary. Adhering to isolation and social distancing will prevent you, your family, and the community from COVID-19. Stay safe.
A team of researchers from the Central Public Health Laboratories of the Ministry of Health and from Sultan Qaboos University has reached initial results of analyzing the full genome sequencing of the coronavirus COVID-19. More details in the following report.
A team of researchers from the Central Public Health Laboratories of the Ministry of Health and from the Sultan Qaboos University has reached to initial results of analyzing the full genome sequencing of coronavirus COVID-19. The analysis has been included within the global data of the virus strains of each country in the world to understand how the virus is spread and the difference of its mutation.
In this initiative, global initiative, they want to understand how this virus is spreading and whether there are changes in the genome that can affect actually the clinical presentation, how the patient are being affected, and also whether the kits or the diagnostic molecular tests that we are used in different public health laboratories to diagnose the disease, are they affected by causing changes in the virus.
49 rival strains have been analyzed for the first diagnosed cases in the Sultanate. The analysis of this full genome sequencing contributes to study the epidemiological situation and how the disease spreads in the Sultanate. It helps the public health workers to know the required interventions to control and curb the spread of the epidemic, as well as determines the gene mutation that may increase the severity of the disease.
And here actually I'm going to show you some of the preliminary data that we have. So here actually showing the latest map that came in June, and it shows that the virus has different strains, which are the versions, and you can see it came from the China with the L, and then the latest one was S, but now we have different form of them, and they're actually distributed differently in different continents in the world, in Asia and Europe and North America. And now currently we have the data of Oman already incorporated in this kind of databases. This mutation that actually some of them were unique, but the mutation rate in the virus is not very fast, so we don't believe that the virus is evolving very fast in the human population. So you can see here actually we have some of the variants we have seen that actually it's in the body of the virus, but we did not see the mutation or change that can affect the binding to the host receptor, which is showing in green color.
The researchers observed that there is genetic diversity in the strains dispersed in the Sultanate, which is expected due to the multiple sources of the virus. It has been proved that the virus entered the Sultanate from many countries, and the genotype, which was detected during the first months, was multi-strains derived from the main strain B and belongs to subcategories O, V, LSG, RG, and HG. With the spread of the disease, it has been observed the sovereignty of the certain strains like G and GH, particularly GR, which is responsible for the local transmission.
Alhamdulillah, with our preliminary findings, what we have found was as expected. At the beginning, we had so many viral strains of around 7 different types. And that was reflected by that most of those cases were already known to be linked to travel. And then later on, with the increase in number of cases and with the local transmission, the number of different clades have been reduced into 3. And those were, some of them were known to be causing many outbreaks in the country. These are very important findings because these are the basis to identify, to help in formulating vaccines and also in treatment.
Analyzing the initial results is the first phase of this project, which will be followed by a series of accurate researches that will be revealed their results respectively. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rabi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Still to come on News Bulletin. Best quality honey is produced in the governorate of Al-Dakhiliya.
Non-compliance with the directives of the Supreme Committee dealing with coronavirus COVID-19 exposes you to risk and legal action. Stay safe.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The World Bank expected the Sultanate's GDP to grow by 2% in 2021 against a 4% contraction this year due to the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic and the drop in the oil prices. The World Bank said that its June report that this growth would be the highest in the last 5 years. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, praised the Sultanate's role in developing the fish sector and its efforts in organizing the marketing of the fish products, especially in the light of the consequences of the pandemic of the coronavirus, to ensure the supply of fish products among consumers. The organization said that the Sultanate of Oman is one of the biggest fish producers in the Gulf and provides means of living for millions. Since the onset of the outbreak of the coronavirus and its effects on the markets, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth has been keen to provide fish products in the local markets on a permanent basis. The technical committee in charge of the interim urban planning mechanism for discussed planning and technical issues for the governorate of Al-Dakhiliya. The committee discussed 81 issues, 37 issues relating to the wilaya of Nazwa, 25 issues to the wilaya of Bahla, and 19 to the wilaya of Samail. It's worth mentioning that the technical committee in charge of the interim urban planning mechanism is responsible for approving land plots as per the approved planning controls and standards. It's also responsible for proposing amendments in response to socio-economic changes. The Omani environment, which is rich and diverse plantations, is a convenient habitat for beekeeping and producing honey. The Omani beekeepers in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate exert immense efforts to gain a quality harvest of honey. More details in the following report.
Captivated by these fascinating little creatures, the bees, buzzing back and forth and flying from a flower to another, collecting nectar and making hives with nectarous sweets. Muhammad bin Ali al-Busaidi has gained a considerable skill of beekeeping at his apiary in the wilaya of Manah in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate.
I started in 1994 with my father. He used to take us with him to the apiary. He taught us how to follow the bees. Since then, we gradually learned the profession of beekeeping, and we increased the number of cells. In the Sultanate, the nature is very suitable to produce honey. Honey keeping is rewarding, but you need to be patient and work hard to get a good produce.
Beekeeping and honey production in Oman is a tradition that is passed down from one generation to another due to the high nutritional and medicinal values of honey.
Honey has so many benefits actually because of its component. It has antioxidant which can help to protect from heart attack and stroke, and also it was used to treat wounds and burns as well. Because of its component, as I said, so many kind of sugars are there, like sucrose, fructose, and glucose. As well, also there are some minerals on honey, for example, iron, potassium, phosphate, and all of these minerals and sugars actually very important for the body health.
Besides the nutritional benefits, honey breeders find in the honey a valuable source of income. Hence, they turn the harvest into a set of added value products, such as those related to dermatology and cosmetics. No pain, no gain, and so is the world of beekeeping. It requires tremendous effort to get the finest and most delicious honey. صالح بو خلفان الرحبي، ولاية أوف منح الداخلية، Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan issues royal directives to implement a number of development projects in the Sultanate worth 300 million Omani riyals. The Supreme Committee dealing with COVID-19 developments decides to lock down some areas and to reopen a new package of commercial and industrial activities. The Ministry of Health announces 712 new confirmed COVID-19 cases and 59 recoveries. And the World Bank expects a growth of 2% in the Sultanate's gross domestic product next year. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a good night.
عزيزي المواطن، توحيدا للجهود المبذولة لمجابهة جائحة كورونا كوفيد-19 والتي تدعو للبقاء في المنزل، فقد اتخذت وزارة الصحة عدة تدابير احترازية واحتياطية لضمان سلامة المرضى وتقليل عدد ترددهم للوحدات الصحية عند استلام أدويتهم. تتمثل هذه التدابير في تخصيص أرقام لكل وحدة صحية، وتقوم أقسام الصيدلة بهذه الوحدات بالتواصل مع المريض عن طريق تطبيق الواتساب أو الهاتف، على أن يقوم المريض بإرسال رسالة نصية تتضمن اسمه ورقم ملفه الصحي مع ذكر الكميات المتبقية لديه من الأدوية إلى الرقم المخصص. يقوم الكادر الصيدلاني بالتدقيق على هذه البيانات ثم تحضير الوصفة ومراجعتها ووضع الإرشادات اللازمة لضمان سلامة المريض. ثم يقوم الكادر بإرسال رسالة نصية إلى المريض لتحديد موعد استلام الأدوية. ستصرف الأدوية للمراجعين أو من ينوب عنهم خلال الفترة الصباحية والمسائية وفق المواعيد المحددة سابقاً لكل مريض. وتفادياً لتعريض فئة أصحاب الأمراض المزمنة لأي نوع من العدوى، يجب على ذويهم أو من ينوب عنهم من الأقرباء الحضور لاستلام الأدوية نيابة عنهم. تعاونكم وتقيدكم بالمواعيد المحددة لاستلام أدويتكم هو ضمان لسلامتكم ومساهمة منكم للحد من انتشار فيروس كورونا كوفيد-19.